Hello everybody and welcome to another toy review. Today we're taking a look at something just a little bit different. Now me and my son and I recently watched the latest Turtles movie by the explosions man himself, Michael Bay. And actually we quite enjoyed it, but it kind of brought up the subject of turtles and where they originated, and I explained to my son that we had the Teenage Mutant Ninja, well actually we had the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles in the UK. They were heroes in a half shell, turtle power. Anyway, I wanted to show him some kind of vintage style turtles, so I thought I haven't been on HEROCROSS for a while and I knew they were doing turtles. So I found this set here. It's a good value for money set. You get 4 in 1. We get all 4 of the figures included. We have Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo and Donatello. And they come in this very funky, very retro looking Nickelodeon sponsored case. Now here they are out of their packaging and they all come individually packaged in their own colour with some very nice 80s style artwork there. We learn on the back of the box that they do indeed have an exquisite sculpt detailing. They have die-cast bodies, they're fully articulated, and they do include their signature weapons. Now I like the fact that these come individually packaged as well, because if you don't like them all, I have a very particular red-headed friend of mine, Sean. She would absolutely love some of these. I might give her the odd one for Christmas. Is that me being a cheapskate? Probably. Now, I also know there is limited runs of these. I believe it's, I want to say white, black and gold variants. I think they're 500 pieces each they're limited to. I don't particularly like those, but I know there are people out there that really like the unique style of some of these limited collecting. To start off with, we will take a look at Leonardo because he leads. Now, as previously mentioned, he does come with his signature weapons, and they are very nice looking swords indeed. They've got a nice point to them. There's enough flex in there so they're not going to break, but they are quite stabby pointy. Very clean paint applications on Leo. I believe the majority of the die cast is hidden there inside his shell. Really great vintage vibe from this. The plastic used is pretty much exactly what we get with the larger figures. Very reminiscent of what I had with the Olaf figure. It's got a very nice, soft, smooth texture to it. Love his bandana. He's looking very cross, isn't he? Great sculpting there on the teeth. Coming around to the elbow pads, protecting his arms. And his wrist, and the belt goes all the way around. Now I would have liked some sort of storage facilities for his swords on the back. I know in the vintage toy we had kind of a different holster system going on, but I'm going to pose him with his swords anyway. That's just me nitpicking. Coming around to have a look at Leo's crotch. It's a nice looking figure. The articulation on all of these is pretty much identical. We do have a ball mounted head. We can look down and we can look up. We can go left and right. We do get some nice tilt on there as well. The shoulders can come up and over. There is some hindrance as we go backwards because of the shell. The shoulders can come up. We do have a bend at the elbow, not quite 90 degrees, but it's a bend nonetheless. And we do have a rotation on the wrist. No waist rotation on these turtles, unfortunately, but I do have a massive shell to prevent this. The legs can come kind of this far forward, that far back. They can come up to the side. We do have a nice bend at the knee. Again, not quite 90 degrees. And we don't have anything on the feet. I know the articulation isn't as high as some of the other figures they've done. Taking a closer look at the sword, we've got a nice wrap around the hilt there. It's really nice sculpting and a nice clean kind of metallic paint on there. Nice, you can just catch the shine on there. Looks very realistic. Next up on this slab we have Donatello and his bow staff. Again, a nice clean paint applications. We've all got this menacing grin. I would have personally have liked maybe a different expression on some of them. I know the original toys from the 80s, they all had this same kind of expression thing. And so that's a fantastic nod to those. But as a personal preference, I would have maybe have liked the aggressive face on maybe Leonardo and Raphael. But Donatello, he does machines, so maybe more of a quizzical look on him. Okay, we have the nice D on his belt. It's just a very nice looking figure. It's exactly like the original toy, only with a humongous head. The staff has the wrap around the centre, very much like Leo had with his sword, and it has a fair bit of flex to it, so there's no fear of any breakage. The articulation again is the same throughout. We can get enough of a dynamic stance. I mean, these are more the sort of figures that I'm going to have displayed next to the PC or maybe in the office. I say that like I have an office. I don't have an office, but if I had an office, I would have these displayed on my desk. Here we have Raphael. He's cool but crude. Ah, yes, Raphael. Maybe the turtle most likely to end up in rehab with some sort of anger management issues. He comes with his, I don't know what they call the daggers. The daggers, they have a proper technical name. I'm sorry, they were stabby daggers. Again, wrapped nicely around the hilt. Now, the weapons do go in very nicely. It's a very tight fit, but they just fit in nice and snug. There's no paint wear or anything on any of the weapons. You just twiddle them in, and then they are. Now, my wrists on my figures were a little bit tight to begin with. You can twist them a little bit and just give them a little bit of play. They're not going to break. But if you feel like they're not moving, just a little advice, get a hairdryer and just aim it in the direction of the wrists and just a little bit of heat, and then start to wiggle the hands. You may want to wear gloves or something because the plastic will be a little bit hot, and that just allows the plastic to kind of soften slightly, and it really does help with the movement of joints. That pretty much goes for a lot of different figures. I will go into the boil and pop method. That's a different ball game altogether, including boiling water, but the hairdryer generally does work if you have any stiffness in the joints, and that works with some of the other companies like Necker, etc. I didn't have to do this with any of my HEROCROSS figures. I never have had to do this, but these are probably some of the tighter joints I've had, and I'm just warning you, if you feel like it's not going to move and you know that it should, because mine does, then maybe just a little bit of heat from the hairdryer will suffice. Again, nice clean paint applications. I mean, you can just kind of expect these guys to spin. There's a fair bit of heft in them. They feel kind of the weight of like a conker. I feel like you can string these up and do some battling like you would with conkers. That's probably one of the weirdest analogies I've ever made, isn't it? And of course, last but by no means least, we have Michelangelo. He is a party dude. He is fabulous. He is one of my favourites. He loves pizza nearly as much as I do. Now, he did come with the back of his bandana separated. That's on a ball joint, and you have to apply a fair bit of pressure, but it does work back in to the back of the head. As you can actually display these just slightly differently, so you can have them posed so you can change the wind direction, I guess. He looks incredible, doesn't he? I love that orange. He just, he's so good. And his nunchuk. Let's have a look at the nunchuk. What an awesome little chain there. Fantastic. He could just twiddle those around. Put that in there. And that in there. Oh, he looks so good. I absolutely love this set. They really are incredible. They are a really fun set. They're very well made. It's nice to have some heft to them, but they're definitely safe for kids. Nothing is going to break on these. I really hope they do a Bebop and Rocksteady and a Shredder as well, all based on their 1980s toy releases, because that would look fantastic. I'd love to have all of these together. You know what? This really reminds me of the old arcade versions of Turtles as well. They've got that very vibrant, almost neon green thing going on. Here they are all together, and they do look incredible. When you actually have them all like this and you compose the heads differently and you have the kind of wind blowing across, you don't actually notice they all have the same head sculpt. It's just because I had them in hand individually that I would have liked it slightly different. It's almost, at this point, you almost see kind of differences in tones on the chests, etc. But they do look very, very nice together, and it gives me that big retro vibey hug. So there we have it, guys. Leo, Mikey, Raph, and Donnie. Here they are with a quick scale comparison of some random figures that I own, just to give you an idea of kind of what scale they are. They're a good size figure, and like I said, I honestly cannot wait to see if they get the license to do the rest in the series. That'll be fantastic. I would love, absolutely love, to get some villains in this lineup. If you like what you've seen here, or if you are interested in this kind of super deformed style figure, HEROCROSS also have licenses to other movies such as Alien vs Predator, and also a huge variety of Marvel, DC, and Disney. Make sure you check out the HEROCROSS.com website by clicking the link in the description below. And for myself and those Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, thanks for watching. A goodbye.